Today's piece is De Profundis by Frederick Rzewski. It's a piece for speaking pianists, so technically it is for voice and piano. And historically, it's performed by Rzewski. He's famous as sort of this autodidact composer who also performed all of his own stuff, very skilled pianist. It's dedicated to Tony DeMare and Larry Brose in memory of Luke Theodore, written in 1992, and the text is adapted from Oscar Wilde. This is a pretty big piece. It was the first Rzewski piece I was ever exposed to when I discovered the score, and it's real cool. Like it's a real great little drama. Very inspiring if you want to do dramatic work for the concert hall. Here it is advised that the piano should wear a lapel mic, um, and there should be a mic right of the keyboard to pick up like percussive sounds on the instrument itself. And here's the score, right? So it's handwritten. It starts with this breathing in and out, stuff like that. Then you introduce some grunts, and I think you get to speaking eventually. You can see it's pretty extensive, and then there's like a big percussion moment here, but I won't spoil too much more. I've never looked into the dedicatees or where the text is from. I'll just assume that it's by Oscar Wilde. Okay, Tony DeMare is a pianist, it looks like. And Larry Brose is experimental filmmaker, photographer, and arts administrator. Both of these artists are active in New York. And I guess this piece was dedicated to them way back in 1992. I remember this piece being longer. I guess it's just half an hour. I'll link this version. I'm assuming it's performed by Rzewski. And oh shit, I just realized this is our first Rzewski episode, so why don't I talk about him? It might be our only Rzewski episode, honestly, because I don't have any other scores of his. Born in 1938 and died in 2021, shortly after the pandemic. Rzewski was an American composer and pianist, and widely considered to be one of the most important American composer pianists of his time. From 1977 onward, he lived primarily in Belgium. His major compositions often incorporate social and political themes. Uh, Perhaps his most famous piece is his variations for piano called The People United Will Never Be Defeated. That's a very monumental work. I think I saw a so-so performance of it here in Winnipeg a couple of years ago. And yeah, it looks like he had a lot of early teachers who were also composers, such as Milton Babbitt, Walter Piston, Roger Sessions. He had a Fulbright in 1960 where he went to go work in Italy. There he studied with Dia Piccola. So I don't think he has. Yeah, he has a pretty like conservative traditional background. Like he studied at Phillips Academy, Harvard, Princeton. So I think it's kind of weird that he's sort of uh, presents himself to the public as this like self-taught composer. He clearly has worked with a lot of cutting-edge avant-garde composers of his time. I guess he just prefers to write for himself. There's quite a bit of content you can find online on Rzewski talking about his own music, talking about contemporary music himself. So I'll just leave that to you to find, and hopefully this piece is a good introduction to what he was all about. Um, I don't. like other people have performed this one, but I do think that this one is does not translate well to other performers. Like Rzewski really does it the best version of it, you know. I can barely watch other versions, honestly. So that's what we're doing today. Okay, so hopefully you took the time to listen to this. I think it is one of the great like narrated piano pieces. Um, it's based, I realized, on this poem by Oscar Wilde called "The Ballad of Reading Gaol." I found this pretty easily. He wrote this in, I guess, 1904. It was published, but it's about Oscar Wilde's time in prison. So, yeah, where I guess it was in this prison, HM Prison, Reading. So Wilde had been incarcerated there after being convicted of gross indecency with other men in 1895, and notably, while he was in jail, a 30-year-old prisoner was executed by hanging. So he was there experiencing the sort of social impact of that in the jail itself. Um, and a lot of the poem is about that. So I think Jevsky has sort of tailored that text to suit this piece, and he talks more about like what it means to be an artist and sort of like the like very visceral experiences of being in jail. Seems more focused on that. Um, the I don't think he's setting the whole poem because it seems to be much longer um, than the text that's here. To be honest, maybe it was just like my mood today, but this didn't slap or hit nearly as hard as when I first discovered it. I think there was a novelty to it when I first discovered it. I do like the notation, and I do like that it has this like these like instrumental interludes that and like some stuff that's reminiscent of J.S. Bach. There's like this sort of weird pastiche going on in the first two-thirds of it. What struck me really powerfully was this section that's like near the end. It's like 20 minutes in, where you close the piano lid and you start doing all this percussive stuff. I thought, especially with the whispering, um, and this is harder to pull off in performance, but I think this is really a magical stretch of music where the performer starts like, you know, smacking themselves and uh, just sort of like it's just one thing after another, but it's very entertaining and yeah, it's like must be 3 minutes of music or so. Then you start barking and making other noises and stuff, and uh, yeah, it's also interesting that it's so close to the end. It's really far into the piece, um, but very powerful. I also like this notation where he has just like 7 chords listed, and you have to memorize them and they're just labeled with letters. I think I tried to do this in a piece after hearing this, and my teacher didn't like it at all because I was making the performer memorize something. But I think because Rzewski performs this himself, the notation makes sense, and I think it's an interesting way to pace a section to have like this sort of pitch reservoir almost or chord reservoir that you're drawing from. Hopefully that gave you your Rzewski fix. Yeah, really cool performance and cool text. Tomorrow, I think, is the last piece in the voice and piano series, so I'll just leave it as a surprise. It's a physical score I have though, so it's much older than this. Um, but yeah, thank you for humoring me with this one.